What's up, man? How you doing?
Nice to see you.
You too.
Don't let his showmanship and his games do anything. You take the fight to him and make sure this is your fight and not his.
It's been nearly 2 decades since the UFC touched down in Miami, Florida.
The UFC has traveled to South Florida. UFC 42 sudden impact. A fantastic night of mixed martial arts here in Miami. What more could you ask from a fight card than what we got tonight?
But on April 8th, the Coastal Paradise will welcome back the world's leading MMA promotion for a stacked pay-per-view event featuring the city's greatest fighter, the man they call Game Bred, Jorge Masvidal.
I am Miami.
We gon' make them see.
The king of Miami, Jorge Game Bred Masvidal.
Yeah, we gon' make them see.
He's a mixed martial arts pioneer.
For many, many years, people only knew me for fighting in the backyard.
Undefeated in the streets. He is the consummate fighter's fighter.
He will truly fight anybody, anytime.
And it wasn't until I broke faces, records, and souls that people started recognizing me. I'm so attracted to the violence and I thrive in it, you know?
Let's go.
The baddest mother effer in the UFC.
Tough as rust. Tough like a wolf on the hunt.
Thank God for this amazing journey. I love this sport. I ain't going nowhere. I'm here to fight the best in the world.
On April 8th, Masvidal will compete in the heart of Miami-Dade County against a fellow South Floridian from Brazil.
I'm ruthless. Burn a path with my fire.
Top 5 UFC welterweight, Gilbert Durinho Burns.
We match up good with each other. The finish over Jorge Masvidal will put me in a very good position.
Shoulder, shoulder, shoulder.
There you go.
Durinho's in love with that knockout life.
Oh! There's the tap for Gilbert Durinho Burns.
Let's get with the real gangster.
Gilbert Durinho Burns. That is the finish he was looking for.
Jorge, let's go! I'm coming for you.
UFC 287's main event will feature the championship rematch between middleweight king Alex Pereira.
I'm cold as ice.
That's it.
And I don't play nice.
You cannot stand in front of that man.
And former champ Israel Adesanya.
Greatness personified, the ultimate example of a champion, always fighting the toughest guys.
Who Pereira twice defeated in kickboxing.
It's hard to hack the Adesanya MacBook, but the only guy that's done that is Alex Pereira twice.
Before seizing his crown in MMA as well.
Here's that left hook.
He hurt him bad.
Down goes the champion. Pereira trying to close the shot.
That's
That'll do it. And
He did it again.
Alex Pereira, the undisputed middleweight champion.
Minha mensagem pro Israel é ele estar bem preparado, porque eu vou estar. Move, move, move.
Very good, very good. That's it.
This is now time for my story.
He hurt him. Huge right to the left at the end of the round. He hurt him.
He knows he's gonna go through the fire when he fights me every single time.
I'm the big dog in this yard.
Oh, my goodness. Knocked out for Adesanya now.
This is my octagon.
This is his world. This is his house. Oh! Quick night at the office.
But before the 305 welcomes back the UFC. First, get ready.
Operation where champions are made. We have a fight to win.
For UFC 287.
It's Operation winning now.
Let's go. Let's go.
Countdown.
I'm ruthless.
The rivalry between Brazilian Alex Pereira and Nigerian-born Israel Adesanya began in the kickboxing ring.
应该是大级别这么好，真的是非常难得。
Unanimous decision in the blue corner.
这是机会往后退了，治疗了，已经终止比赛。
And continued into the UFC's octagon, a battleground of mixed martial arts, where Adesanya truly belonged.
You need to coordinate this with the step. Boom. Okay? To take people off balance.
Initially, I wanted to be an MMA fighter.
Okay, where you go?
That was what I came to Auckland to learn, but then I was just so good at striking, and getting kickboxing fights was easier than getting MMA fights.
Oh, Israel, I win. This kid's got something special.
He does things that so many people can't even dream of.
Your king in the ring, Israel Adesanya!
There was never really like a set time frame. I was always doing kickboxing no matter what, but then MMA on the side, like grappling. I had a few MMA fights while I was still kickboxing.
And it's called Adesanya knockout.
We just adapted, style bended, if you will.
He's a truly unique talent. His kickboxing, his striking is on another level.
In MMA, the last style bender was a natural.
Oh, he's hurt. Fighting the battle, winning the war. Israel Adesanya.
That's technique.
Winning his first 20 straight bouts.
Rather down on my feet than down on my knees and begging for mercy.
He is one of the highest level kickboxers you're ever gonna see. Oh! He's so effortless in his movements. He's constantly changing angles.
Capturing the UFC middleweight title.
Oh! To the heavens. The undisputed king of the middleweights.
And defending it 5 times.
Still undisputed.
Everyone has to fight him in a mixed martial arts fight. If you're standing there kickboxing with him, it's a problem.
One of the most dynamic, layered strikers.
For his style, his next fight is going to be his toughest fight.
All while his former foe was watching.
You're in a position now where you have beaten almost everyone in the division.
Look, we know who's next. That Poatan. Trust me.
The champion, ladies and gentlemen, Israel Adesanya.
He moves every needle, celebrity and otherwise, that you would want him to move. It's amazing to think when 2018 began, he was not a UFC fighter, and now he is one of the biggest superstars in the sport.
Assim que o Israel entrou pro UFC, é claro que eu fiquei de olho, porque eu já tinha o interesse, né, de lutar MMA.
Alexandre Pereira, nocaute técnico.
Bom, aquele vídeo que postaram, né, uma entrevista que o Israel Adesanya fez, me motivou muito, né.
He watches all my fights, and every time I fight, like clockwork, he'll try and put something out like, I beat this guy. At the end of the day, no one knows who the he is, and he's gonna be that guy when I'm world champion, when I'm a legend. He's gonna be at some pub, talking some about, I beat that guy one time.
Me senti desafiado. E quando eu sou desafiado, ninguém me segura. Eu queria novos desafios e era o UFC.
Pereira's MMA pursuits would come under the guidance of fellow Brazilian and former UFC light heavyweight champion Glover Teixeira, who had long anticipated the crossover of kickboxing's top middleweight.
Loosen up on your hands. Loosen up on your hands.
He wants to do MMA for a long time. He's a tremendous kickboxing. But of course, after beating everybody 7 times, defending the belt, he just wants to do MMA. Too strong, man. Everything he thinks about is to be the best in the world.
Pereira is one of the best strikers on earth. He is truly exceptional. Oh! It's a different kind of power. You cannot stand in front of that man.
Oh! Massive left for Pereira!
That power is different.
Corri atrás, né, de estar dentro da organização, consegui. Depois que eu entrei, eu falei, entrei, agora é daqui pro cinturão.
With only 7 professional MMA fights to his name, Pereira had officially arrived. And the dominant champion in need of a fresh challenge could not deny the man who had once knocked him out between the ropes.
Well, not since his opponent, Israel Adesanya, did it has a middleweight made such a rapid rise to prominence as Brazil's Alex Pereira.
His power is extraordinary. He flatlines the best fighters in the world. And Adesanya has to be very, very aware of that.
So Israel Adesanya, he has never been beaten at 185 pounds. 7 UFC title fights for Adesanya, and he is about a 2-1 favorite here tonight as he tries to produce a title defense against that man Poatan that he just wants in the worst way.
Here we go.
Here we go.
This one is gonna be fun, boys.
Round 1 for the undisputed UFC middleweight championship.
No primeiro round ali, round bem estudado, eu querendo machucar, ele querendo machucar, pra chegar no momento ali, né, de dar uma pressão.
Oh, nice right hand by Izzy.
He's got him reacting now. Look at that.
A lot of leg kicks landed by both guys.
Pereira does so much danger when he gets close to you.
No finalzinho do round, né, onde ele queria fazer isso para colocar essa pressão e talvez me nocautear.
Oh, he hurt him.
Huge right and a left at the end of the round.
Né, esses golpes no final saem pouco da estratégia. Eu não queria ter recebido aqueles golpes.
Now the champ's gonna get some respect.
Round 2, early leg kick for the champ.
Oh, good left to the body by Pereira.
Oh man, the jab is still.
Ooh, big right hand for Adesanya.
Oh my goodness.
And Pereira gets the takedown.
We might be 1-1, boys.
And it's heating up.
Yeah, it is. Izzy did a great job there. Experience of Adesanya to start to take form and show itself.
So it is Adesanya who ends up on top.
Be patient, be patient. Ground and pound by the champion.
Pereira looks tired now.
Big round for the champion.
Pereira's pace and activity is really waned here. Beautiful sequence by Adesanya. What championship medal to take control of this fight in rounds 3 and 4. 20 down, 5 to go.
Pereira can land when he throws. He just has not been able to keep up the pace of Adesanya.
Não, com certeza eu achei que eu tava perdendo.
It seems like we're looking at 3-1 pretty comfortably for the champion.
Os meus corners chegaram e falaram pra mim.
Vou falar uma coisa com você. Só não tinha 5 minutos.
Até 5 minutos pra você ser campeão mundial, Poatan. 5 minutos, Poatan.
Change of heart, you've crossed the line and
E no quinto round eu falei, agora não tem outra, eu tenho que ir pra cima.
Vai ser campeão do mundo, vai ser campeão do mundo. Vambora.
É os 5 rounds da minha vida.
Pereira's corner trying to get him going to the tune of a finish here.
And now he knows he doesn't have to fight another round after this. He can empty the tank.
Yeah, he's gonna fight hard.
5th and final round.
Oh!
Pereira got that right hand through.
He checked the kick and it hurt Izzy's leg.
Oh! The danger is still there with this guy.
Adesanya's on rolling legs, 2 more.
Oh my God! He hurt him bad.
Down goes the champion. Pereira trying to close the show.
Oh my God!
That'll do it. And new Alex Pereira, the undisputed middleweight champion. I don't believe it.
He did it again.
In the final round, a new world champion.
In 4 UFC fights.
Wow.
Já estava escrito. Eu sabia que eu ia ser campeão.
So Israel Adesanya, 14th UFC appearance, and as many of you know, he has never been beaten at 185 pounds. Adesanya 5 minutes away from remaining the UFC standard. 5th and final round.
Before competing with former kickboxing nemesis Alex Pereira.
Oh, nice right hand by Izzy.
Nice right hand by Izzy.
Israel Adesanya was 23-0.
Oh! Head kick.
As an MMA middleweight.
He hurt him bad.
Oh, and now a right. Adesanya's on rolling legs. 2 more. Down goes the champion.
So the shocking defeat.
That'll do it.
And loss of his UFC world title.
And new Poatan has done it.
would require a brief respite from all the noise.
Alex Pereira is now the undisputed UFC middleweight champion, and this rivalry does not end here.
After the fight, I just removed myself really from anything MMA related. Like the news cycle. I just stepped out of it and just kind of enjoyed life.
I don't know how Spider-Man does it. Every day.
So we start in 20 seconds. Any performance is 100% physical and 100% mental. And if one isn't on, it'll affect the other. We're going to go down, across, get to that point where there's a bit of stress and then come up.
Yeah.
And then one breath across.
Okay, cool.
Israel's mental game is already incredible, but you have to sharpen it.
It was just shocking because you're so used to Izzy winning. So to see him not win, it hurts. To see him in the spirits that he was after, you know, just being positive, back in the locker rooms and seeing him, you know, just embrace it. Say, okay, we'll run it back.
On April 8th in Miami, Florida, Adesanya has his chance at revenge, which across all combat sports will be his fourth attempt to take down the Brazilian champion.
Unanimous decision in the blue corner.
A circumstance unlike any other in UFC history for a contender, but one well suited for the mentally adept former king.
My whole life been an underdog. Stay down, but I can't be down. I came through to set it up. Set the sun, yeah, it's time, yeah, it's now or never.
The noise. How I've always handled it. This moment's all on me. I've put this pressure on myself.
Now or never.
With my actions and my words, rising to the occasion.
It's now or never. Now or never.
Amongst all the noise, amongst all the naysayers, all the doubters, everything, and getting it done.
Now or never.
That's my driving factor, and I will.
It's now or never.
Eliminating distraction is easier said than done. But for UFC middleweight champion Alex Pereira, comfort can be found anywhere on the planet. So the former kickboxer embraces an opportunity to bring a portion of UFC 287 training camp to the Muay Thai capital of the world.
Falou de luta, falou de Muay Thai, é Tailândia, né? Então tô vindo pra capital da arte. Eu acho que a gente vê que o MMA tá crescendo muito aqui.
Tomorrow night, Moy International Muay Thai Stadium, Soy Reggae Park, Chow Wing Beach, introducing bare knuckle fight and Muay Thai.
Pessoas aqui têm visão pra luta, não só pro Muay Thai.
While most fighters flock to the many gyms in Western Phuket, Pereira has opted for Thailand's equally stunning island to the east, where the champ can enjoy specialized training and reunite with an old friend.
Bom, eu conheço o Ramon desde 2012, né? Foi na época do It Showtime que ele levou pro Brasil. Era o maior evento, né, de kickboxing do mundo.
Good, you? Yes? Are the rest good?
Yes.
So today good energy?
Strong, yeah.
Strong as always. Okay.
Eu tive a oportunidade de estar lutando, né? Ele me deu essa oportunidade.
did a show in Sao Paulo, Brazil, kickboxing show. I was one of the promoters. So, you know, we go far back, man. You know, he's a real friend.
What we gonna eat, guys?
Salmão, brócolis.
Salmão, brócolis. Chicken.
Comida de campeão.
Comida de campeão.
Champions food.
Always he promised me, listen, Ray, when I become UFC champion, the next step is become to Thailand.
É um clima diferente, pessoas diferentes, com técnicas diferentes. Então a gente tem que estar preparado a tudo. Então se o Adesanya vem com coisa nova, com técnicas diferentes, com pessoas diferentes, então a gente não está na zona de conforto, né? É uma grande vantagem para mim.
They fought already 2 times in kickboxing. They fought already 1 time in MMA, in the UFC. 3 times win for Alex, so the 4th time also will be the win for Alex.
Salud, salud, team. Salud.
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 Chama.
Bom, com certeza, isso vai mexer com a cabeça dele. Foram 3 lutas, 2 nocautes. Por mais que ele fale que agora eu não tenho responsabilidade nenhuma, não importa cinturão, não importa isso, não importa aquilo, ele sabe que eu sou muito perigoso.
He's beating me, but I can beat him. I know I can. He knows I can. He knows what dangerous so you'll see come fight time. I'm still Israel Adesanya.
On April 8th, it's a middleweight rivalry for the ages in Miami, where Pereira and Adesanya will battle for a 4th and likely final time for Combat Sports' ultimate prize.
An incredible rise to UFC superstardom and middleweight gold.
E campeão do UFC.
Alex Pereira is always dangerous. Oh! We knew that could happen, and that did happen.
Vai ser uma guerra.
Alex Pereira doing what we knew he does best.
There's no past, there's no future. All we have is now.
He is a mix of humility and creativity and confidence.
Oh, he hurt him!
But for Adesanya, this is his world. This is his house.
He will last best.
This one is gonna be fun, boys. Here we go.
When the UFC touches down in Miami on April 8th, the promotion will enter one of the world's foremost hotbeds of MMA training. But before the Sunshine State was rife with elite teams, Gilbert Burns was drawn by a former champion and one of Florida's earliest transplants.
Originally brought me to Florida was Vitor Belfort.
Vitor Belfort looking to finish this fight. Jones trying to power out of it.
We were very close friends. He was one of my mentors in MMA. He kind of decided to join the Black Zillions, and I came with him.
An early iteration of the so-called Super Camp was the Black Zillions, a group of nomads who joined forces to create a new team with a deep roster.
Vitor Belfort training there, Thiago Silva, Tyrone Spong.
He's gonna stop.
Pick up the pace a little bit and jog it out.
Rashad Evans, Overeem, Michael Johnson, Eddie Alvarez, Henry Hoof.
Led by Dutch kickboxer Henry Hoof, the team would undergo numerous name changes and relocations.
Close range, work at close range. It's all gonna happen there. Step back, low. Bang, that 1, 2. Relax.
But a decade later, Hooft and his star pupil remained together.
That movement is key in everything you do. If you throw 1, 2 and you stand there, you're gonna get countered. That's a fact. Gilbert Burns is a great student. Listens very good, wants to learn, always early, is very professional. Put the tempo in, let your legs go, let's go! And he was a wild man from the start.
With a power corner, including Vitor Belfort behind him, here is the Blackzilians rep, the undefeated Gilbert Burns.
Oh, nice spinning elbow.
You talk to these guys, the Blackzilians, they just believe the sky is the limit for this young man. This is where he wants to be.
Gilbert Burns by submission. Now going for the armbar. He's going to finish this.
And there's
He's got it. A true master at submissions at work there.
A four-time Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world champion and one who has really developed his striking and his power under Henry Hoof. Oh, and he puts him down, and that is it.
That's why he always say to believe in my hand. That right hook is so hard. If you land, he'll be down. He said it.
Yeah, Henry Hoof really saying all the right things.
Henry's been there with me since I joined the Blackzilians.
His striking has really caught up to his jiu-jitsu.
Oh, Moret down!
He tasted the knockout life.
There's no safe place for his opponents.
Whoa!
Oh! Big left hook.
10 years, we changed a lot of things, but the relationship is still super close, just getting stronger.
This is with one punch, what you can do.
Under Hoof's guidance,
Oh, wow! Now Gilbert Burns hammers away.
Burns would become a mainstay in the UFC.
Back to the bread and butter, Gilbert Durinho Burns by submission.
Burns hurt him. Burns hurt him bad.
Once competing against fellow Hoof student Kamaru Usman for the title.
Oh!
Started strong tonight, but it did not go his way.
And occupying the title picture ever since.
Now, he's one of the scariest strikers in the division. But you see how he puts it on people.
Oh, nice right hand by Burns.
He puts it on people like a seasoned striker. And if you go to the ground with this guy, it's a nightmare.
With ease.
That's tight.
There's the tap. Gilbert Durinho Burns.
Anyone can get it. Anyone. Jorge, if you want some, come and take it.
The pair now readies for an April 8th co-main event bout in nearby Miami against another South Florida staple from another South Florida super camp.
Super teams started forming rather fast in South Florida due to one team and one team alone, American Top Team. Dan Lambert started that movement. He's a multi-millionaire. And he laid out like a great foundation, you know. He put all these great coaches and just let it take off. I'll never forget the first day. When I walked in through the doors when I was 21, about to turn 22 years old, there was 3 guys in the top 15 in my weight class. And they just ran like the gauntlet on me. After I finished that practice, I really knew where I stood amongst the world's best. You know, my mind is like, I could do this, and I could do this for the rest of my life.
Go.
Defend, defend, defend. George is one of the most skilled athletes that I've ever met.
And here comes Jorge Masvidal. All the rest of the guys seem to be down at American Top Team down in Florida. And Masvidal is one of the best guys coming out of that camp to date.
He's got more weapons than anybody.
Masvidal's got great stand-up, elusive footwork, knows how to move his head and counter-strike.
Fake and go, fake and go. Shuffle step.
There's a big knee from Masvidal. Wilcox in trouble. Masvidal unloading on the silverback.
That's what makes him so dangerous. And that's just through hard work and dedication to the craft.
Oh! Big combination by Masvidal. Nice jarsing him. Oh, he tapped it! Wow! He's lighting him up now.
And that's gonna be it.
Jorge Masvidal!
Oh! Beautiful left hook.
Big knee for Masvidal.
Look at the body work as well as he rocks him.
He rose to the top of the ranks.
He has constantly evolved and gotten better.
He's always honing and fine-tuning those weapons.
You can see it in his confidence, the way that he talks.
If you like watching people that kick ass, tune in.
The way that he walks.
Cerrone in a world of trouble here. Masvidal working the body, and that is it.
He is 100% sure that this is his time.
And he really blew up.
Oh! He's out! What a finish for Jorge Masvidal!
Jorge Masvidal
crowds here in London.
Oh! Out cold!
One of the greatest knockouts you'll ever see! Game break!
Jorge Masvidal has arrived in the public consciousness. He's been on this spectacular run.
Backyards, the court sides, the bright lights. Here I go.
It is all in front of Jorge Masvidal.
Ain't change. I'm still that thought that like sit here, you sit out to get heads, you know?
All right, what's up, New York? How are you? Masvidal versus Diaz. This is for the baddest in the game.
The BMF title fight is upon us. Oh! Huge right for Gamebred.
Masvidal's fighting brilliantly. Masvidal picking him apart. And no one's handled Nate Diaz like that. He looked like a world beater.
From Coconut Creek to Deerfield Beach, Burns and Masvidal are now set to throw down in the co-main event of UFC 287.
Work on the back. Hey! Bow, 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 bow.
For South Florida bragging rights.
Good again.
And a place in the UFC welterweight title picture.
Henry Hoof and numerous guys over there, they got a decent program. But it ain't when it comes to us. We're gonna crush him, you know. This is war, baby. This is a fight, and this is what we do. We're gonna continue to crush him. It's nothing personal. It's a business we're in.
Many MMA fighters flock to South Florida for the high-level training it provides. But the region of transplants has always been home for local welterweight Jorge Masvidal.
I'm Miami through and through, you know, born and raised. I have been all over the world, and I love it. I love every experience I've gained from being all over the world. But this is my city. Two-time Olympic triathlete. That guy right there. That's why I come all the way over here at 6 in the morning.
High knees, high knees, high knees, high knees.
All too familiar with pain, all too familiar with pride. I've been on my knees 6, but gotten up 7 times. It was never even a question of is it gonna be mine. It's not a matter of chance, just a matter of time.
I know Miami from east to west, north and south.
Put in and work, the tears are filling my eyes. I swear I've never been tested like this, but this is mine. It's not a matter of chance, just a matter of time.
I know little mom and pop stores that make the best empanadas you ever had in your life and the best coffee.
You guys go first, 800. 1, go!
To the parks that I run at and where I grew up.
The blood and sweat is what made me.
I'ma get mine, just a matter of time.
The deepest waters won't take me. The highest fall won't break me. The blood and sweat is what
Vamos, 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 vamos. 346. Walk, walk, walk.
It's all worth it at the end. I'm gonna die trying. This killer be killed in there every time, but this time's like extra. I owe it to my city, you know? Let's go, Miami. Grew up in the Latin community. Our upbringing is a little different than other cultures, I would say. I was exposed to violence young.
Las peleas. En el daycare siempre había problemas con él. Porque algo estaba haciendo ahí, se fajaba con un niño, con 3, 4 años. Lo iba a buscar al daycare. Y después ya cuando creció, los problemas eran en las escuelas.
Get in on him, Ray. Knock him out.
Lo botaron de todas las escuelas de Dade County aquí. Tenía ya como 16 años por ahí, o 15. Yo me enteré por la calle, así, de amistades que me lo dijeron. Y fue cuando le dije, mira, papá, para hacer eso es mejor que pelees. Donde haya un referee bien, todo bien, no así que puede recibir un golpe mal. O como un año empezó a pelear ya normalmente.
Masvidal has realized tremendous success in his UFC career.
Masvidal having a lot of fun in there.
Most notably the past 4 years, which featured the thrill of knockout wins.
Masvidal's so good at staying measured and composed.
Followed by the agony of 3 headlining defeats.
Always a threat.
Including 2 for the welterweight belt.
Masvidal is excitement.
But the sun has not yet set on Gamebred's career. And a fight at home on April 8th.
Gracias, hermano. Abril 8.
Represents a shot at revival.
Salud. I think I'm at best right now. My mental, my physical. Now I gotta go out there and prove it. I got my back up against the wall, but I get to start my resurrection here in Miami-Dade County, the city that birthed me, that made me, that molded me. So I'm more than excited. April 8th, I give it all I got. And I win, we keep rolling that dice till we get that belt. Let's go.
Masvidal was forged by the Miami city streets. His UFC 287 opponent came of age on the shores of Rio de Janeiro, where Gilbert Burns first met his wife Bruna before they began a family in South Florida.
I met Bruna in 2010. The place that we used to live in Brazil was very bad. In 2013, we moved here. Is the #1 support since day one, you know, because she's been through the sport a lot, so she knows what it takes. She's 4 times Brazilian national champion. She has an MMA amateur fight. She has 2 Muay Thai fights. You see that she can fight. She doesn't make me look bad, right?
I help him with the backstage life, so help him with his food, nutritionist.
Hey, hey, hey. See that, huh? Watch out, she's coming. 1, 2, 3.
His only thing to worry about is training. Oh, nah, you wanna go.
Bruno, Pedro, and Joshua. They're a big motivation for me. Elbow hook, elbow hook. I want to make the best for these guys. Oh, no. Nice.
The Burns family affair continues on fight night and in the gym, where fellow jiu-jitsu gold medalist and UFC featherweight Herbert.
Here is Herbert Burns, who has multiple Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu titles, 4-time Brazilian national no-gi champion.
Supports his brother's efforts to defeat the world's best welterweights.
Since the beginning, he was, in my eyes, the best. Super technical, super smart. After 1 year training, he was the first one to become a Brazilian national champion. Even nowadays, he helped me a lot of strategy. He liked to break down all the fights.
Gilbert's cornered me for most of my fights. I corner him for several fights. When he needs more strategy, I go and corner him.
1-on-1, do the drill, Robert, hit the floor, here we go. Set, see, go!
I think this fight will be more on the feet, but Gilbert can take Masvidal down and finish him. Gilbert has the momentum going. He's super hungry. He really wants to be the champion of the division. And I think after beating Masvidal, he'll get the chance for another shot at the title.
Fighting Miami, I'm very happy about her.
So one and a count and then 2 punches behind it, and then you can take down.
My wife's gonna be there, my kids will be there, my brother, all my family. We're gonna decide maybe who's the king of Miami, the 305.
Pressure, boom. Pressure, switch. That nice little right hook. It's nice. When he throws that left hand, you do this good, boom. Just...
I'm very happy with this fight. It's a great opportunity. I think it's a win-win for me.
UFC 287 training camp is at full bore. And while top 5 welterweight Gilbert Burns remains laser-focused on his April 8th showdown with Jorge Masvidal, he couldn't help but notice an interested observer, regularly attending team practice.
So at first meet Matt, he would sit down there at the gym watching the sparring session. And then I said, how you doing? What's your name? He said, oh, Matt. I'm just a huge fan of you. It's a pleasure to be here watching you guys training. You ready or what?
Ready.
Sure. But then we started a conversation. I said, but how you doing? How is your recovery going? Can you train a little bit?
Are you ready for a smoke? I'm ready for the smoke.
Yes, that's the one.
I had brain surgery in 2021.
Big hole, remember? Yes, that's it. Nice.
And I draw a lot of inspiration from Gilbert.
Show the head. Yes.
The friendship is one of the silver linings of my recovery.
I have so many supporters that I have to give it back in a certain way. I saw Matt so happy and smiling.
Freaking guy's strong, man.
And the joy that I see is priceless.
The affable nature Burns exudes outside of the octagon is a far cry from the ferocity he fights with inside of it.
Gilbert Durinho Burns, he is an absolute savage.
And now Burns fires back. Big crowd strikes from Durinho.
And for his upcoming bout with the man once crowned the baddest in the game.
And now, the winner of the BMF belt, Jorge Gamebred Masvidal, the baddest on the planet.
Burns will need every ounce of that warrior's resolve.
Hey. Oh, that's the one.
I represent the BMF belt way more than Georgia does. Fighting guys that are undefeated.
Khamzat Chimaev, complete, total domination every time we've ever seen him. Oh, Gilbert clipped him with the left. Chimaev backs up.
They didn't have to fight Khamzat. I fought him.
Oh, he stung him. He's down.
They didn't have to fight Neil Magny. I fought him.
That is tight.
There's the tap.
Been fighting all these guys, not picking and choosing an opponent.
Yes, 1, 2. Good job. Gilbert fights everybody, anybody, anytime. He does everything he says. And I think this style makes up for a very good, explosive fight. It want to be a war, that's for sure. Good.
Whenever I'm done, I want to be remembered by the guy that put exciting fights, the guy that fought anyone, and the guy that became a champion.
Gilbert Burns, he has been an absolute world beater, but Stephen Wonderboy Thompson makes really good fighters look very average. Can he do that to Durinho tonight when Durinho intends to go and take him down and make him grapple with him?
Gilbert tries to make himself to be this brawler, but he's not.
Burns needs to change levels again, try to go get a takedown.
Ooh, deep shot.
Beautiful level change by Burns.
He's an armpit sniffer, crotch sniffer, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I do to crotch sniffers.
Here's the number 5 ranked welterweight in the world, Ben Askren. Truly one of the better collegiate wrestlers this country has ever seen. Undefeated in the streets, Jorge Gamebred Masvidal.
I'm gonna either put an elbow through his orbital or a knee through his upper palate and put him to sleep.
One of the greatest knockouts you'll ever see! Gamebred!
He has an attraction for my knee, I just feel it.
Jorge Masvidal has been fighting professionally for nearly 2 decades.
K6, gaucho, parando siempre. Ready.
And unprofessionally for even longer. So at the end of his career, closer than the beginning, the stakes could not be higher.
Mira eso, submarine.
For Masvidal's April 8th showdown with Gilbert Burns.
Coge aire, relájate, relájate. Empújate duro, desliza, sé eficiente. Go.
This could be the last one. If I lose, I'm pretty much calling it quits. But a win against Gilbert means that things are headed in the right direction. So if I roll the dice and I do everything right, I'm going for it all. For one title or many titles.
The name of the training camp is We Are Nobodies. Once we understand that we are nobodies, we can become somebodies. We lost 3 in a row. We are nobodies. Anybody can lose 3 in a row. It's operation winning now. There is no money in losing. Very important to understand that. Ready, go!
No matter what life holds when fighting is finished,
Submarine.
It's the present that Masvidal must embrace. As Gilbert Burns will do the same.
Nice, good. Masvidal is very explosive.
Oh, huge right for game break.
Nate's hurt.
Oh, and a head kick.
Knock a lot of guys out.
Oh, he's out.
What a finish for Jorge Masvidal!
But I have heavy grappling, heavy wrestling.
If you go to the ground with this guy, it's a nightmare. He's a world-class Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt.
Get hit harder.
Gilbert Burns, massive knockout.
It's gonna be a hard night for Jorge Masvidal.
There's no safe place for his opponents.
My bread and butter's laying to sleep.
Oh! Beautiful left hook.
And I'm also fighting him here in Miami.
He has put Miami on the map.
I'm gonna bust Gilbert up.
South Florida welcomes hometown superstars.
Fighting out of Miami, Florida.
And the world's best middleweights from afar.
Adesanya 5 minutes away from remaining the UFC standard at 185 pounds.
Oh, he hurt him.
For a night headlined by the MMA rematch between champion Alex Pereira.
There's that left hook. Pineda trying to close the show.
In the final round.
And former king Israel Adesanya.
This is an opportunity for him to get revenge and to show how great he truly is.
It all goes down on April 8th in Miami.